Okay, this video, I just want to go over the basic structure for decision making. So far, what we've talked about a little bit is what we call a sequence structure. And a sequence structure on flowcharts looks something like this. Comes down, you do something, comes down, you do something, whoops. And this is kind of a sequence structure. Very similar to if you were following like a recipe or directions. There's no diversion. There's no decision that has to be made. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And that's a sequence structure. That's one of the first structures we talked about in chapter 1. Okay, this chapter we're going to talk about making decisions or selection structure. And kind of the flowchart for a selection structure looks this, and it's kind of a diamond. And then the yes branch goes this way, does something. The no branch goes this way, does something. And then they join back up again. And you could have some tasks up here. And maybe a task here. This would be the yes branch. This would be the no branch. And this is known as a selection or decision. So like this an E. Structure. So you do some things, and then you come to the question here. And here's the question. And the question is just going to be either true or false, or yes or no, however you want to look at it. And it's known as a Boolean. It only has one of two values, yes or no, true or false. Which again goes very well with computers. 1 and 0, 1 being yes, 0 being no. And if it's yes, you go this path. If it's no, it's this path. And then it comes back together and continues on. And we can have multiple sequences in here. We could have another decision here if we needed it. It can go in any type of order. So this just kind of gives you how the decision works. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about is well, just show you an example of a decision. So let's say, for example, we're looking at payroll. That's bad. And we'll say, was there, I wish I could make this OT. Was there overtime? Yes, no. And if there's overtime, we might say, calc base pay calc overtime, so calculate overtime, and then we'll add them together. Otherwise, all we're going to do is calculate base pay. And over here, we might, let's see, up at the top, we might input hours. And there, whoops, and there may be more to it. Doesn't like me going up that high. So we input hours. Where's their overtime? You have to calculate base pay, calculate overtime. Add the two together, and maybe down here we say print check. If there wasn't, we'll just calculate base pay. And this could be a decision we make. One of the things, and actually, when I do it, I should have arrows like this for flowcharts. And so on and so forth. But one of the things as we look at that, I calculate base pay here and I calculate base pay here. Really, we don't want doing the same thing on both sides. So what we can do, instead of doing it that way, we could just say, okay, we'll have input hours. Oops, okay. Okay, it's disappearing on me now. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so let's try again. Hours we'll put in here. Then we make the decision. Was there overtime? I'm sorry. Did that wrong again. Let's try again. Hours we'll put in here. Then we'll calculate base pay. Then we'll say, was there overtime? If yes, calculate OT, add to base pay, and this side we're not going to do anything. And then we'll issue check. So in this way, I can move the calculate base pay up out of the decision because I have to do it, when I showed it, I was doing it on both sides. So it's better to do it before we come into the decision. So I calculate base pay, overtime, yes. Calculate the overtime pay, add it to the base pay, issue check. Otherwise, this is a one-sided decision. This one doesn't do anything. No, we'll just issue check because we already calculate the base pay. So this is just kind of a quick and dirty way of looking at decision making. If you have any questions, put them either to me on the message board, or send me a message, or just email me. Hope everybody's doing good and understanding all these concepts. Talk to you later. Bye.